Howdy everyone and welcome back to the Game Team, your definitive weekly video game news show. We have a big week with the Diablo 30th anniversary spotlight, PlayStation's latest state of play, and a huge Konami comeback during said state of play. With so much to cover, let's get straight into it all. Blizzard continued its weekly spotlights with Diablo celebrating its 30th anniversary. Diablo 4's next expansion, Lord of Hatred, is bringing the Paladin class to the game with a whole lot of new systems, including a rework of the skill trees, which will be proper trees and not twigs, and a whole new area to explore with the Skogos continent and Temis, its capital city, a place that holds info on the origins of the Sanctuary. The second class was also revealed with the Warlock joining the Paladin. Interestingly enough, the Warlock won't just be coming to Diablo 4, as the class will also be coming to Immortal and Diablo 2 Resurrected, with the Reign of the Warlock expansion, the first new expansion in over 25 years. Alongside the class, terror zones have been updated, new items and rune words are available, and various quality of life updates like inventory management have been added. Diablo 2's Reign of the Warlock expansion is available right now, and Diablo 4's Lord of Hatred will launch on April 28th. Hollywood continues to adapt every video game in existence. Craig Mazin, the co-creator of HBO's The Last of Us adaptation, will adapt yet another game for the studio, with a Baldur's Gate show being his next project. While Larian Studios will not be involved, Mazin said he will bring all of the game's incredible characters to life with as much respect and love as they can. It's expected to follow the events of the game and focus on new characters in the Dungeons & Dragons universe. In the movie world, PlayStation's Helldivers will be adapted into a movie by Sony Pictures and star Jason Momoa in the lead role. Justin Lin, known for his directorial work on the Fast and the Furious series, will direct the movie, which is expected to hit theaters on November 10th, 2027. Speaking of Helldivers, a big update has come to the game as players must take to Cyberstan to stop the machines from building their own Star of Peace in the Machinery of Oppression update. The cyborgs have evolved greatly, and players are calling the new planet a literal death zone. So beware if you decide to aid the Helldivers in the Battle of Cyberstan that is happening right now. No Man's Sky 6.2 update Remnant launched this week with lots of new features, and you know what that means. The update brings a gravity gun, industrial yards, a radar, off-road haulers, waste processing, enhanced clouds, new armor, capture sentinels, customizable vehicles, volatile waste, excavation tech, exocraft furnaces, salvage expeditions, spider vehicles, and the biggest thing of them all, a toot your horn emote. I'm personally really excited to try out the gravity gun and throw absolutely everything around. The team also announced that Corvettes will now be available on Nintendo Switch, as they found a way to optimize the game even more and make them work without your Switch blowing up. Hello Games continues to be just an absolutely amazing studio. PlayStation held a huge state of play this week. The show opened up with the reveal of Kena Scars of Cosmora, a sequel to Ember Lab's original game that looks to be expanding on it in every way with a bigger world, companions, and overhauled combat. Kena Bridge of Spirits was one of my top 5 games of 2021, so I'm super excited to jump into the sequel later this year. Following that, Sucker Punch gave us our first look at Ghost of Yotei's Legends co-op mode, where players will face demonic versions of the Yotei Sits on March 10th. Then, after many rumors and leaks, Death Stranding 2 is finally coming to PC with ultra widescreen support on March 19th, with all the classic PC features one would expect, like frame generation and graphical options. We also got another look at For Loop, the new game from Mike Booth that was revealed at the Game Awards. The gameplay show was focused on the improbability players will be able to use, the upgrade systems, and the probability map, which allows players to choose what path they want to go on before facing a final boss. Capcom came to the show with 2 trailers. Pragmata showed off its post-apocalyptic New York, and Resident Evil Requiem had just one more trailer, giving us more story details such as Leon's infection and his grand return to the Raccoon City Police Department. Legacy of Kain Defiance is being remastered, bringing the final game in the series to modern platforms with lots of quality of life improvements and even a demo to the Lost Prophecy, the cancelled sequel to Defiance. Then, following trailers for Brigandine Abyss, Koei Tecmo announced the return of the Dead or Alive series with Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, which builds upon the original game, including all previous DLC, including new costumes and a photo mode on June 25th. The team also teased a new Dead or Alive that is in development but we will have to wait for more. After that, Remedy brought a big trailer for Control Resonant. The gameplay seems like a huge shift for the studio's usual affairs, with melee being a huge focus. With how crazy it looks, it almost feels like a mix between Gravity Rush and Prototype, if that makes absolutely any sense. The game is still set for 2026. And after trailers for Crimson Moon and Beast of Reincarnation, Ubisoft and Digital Eclipse revealed Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition, which will include 5 versions of the original game and feature a whole documentary on the making of it that is out right now. Following trailers for Mina the Hollower, which has a PS5 demo you can play today, Neva Prologue, which shows you how Alba met Neva, and Yako Shinobi hops, a tactical stealth game out next year, Krafton unveiled Project Windless, an open-world RPG from the former Far Cry game director, where you play as a chicken warrior. We then saw an in-depth trailer for Star Wars Galactic Racer, which looks absolutely beautiful, especially that vehicle damage. 007 First Light continues to show up at every presentation possible, with a new trailer giving us a look at how 007 gets recruited for his first mission in tracking down 009. With a whole lot of locations, Bond girls, and iconic music, the game really does look to be shaping up to be an all-time great this May. Konami then took over the state of play. The first announcement was Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, which will bring Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker to modern platforms. Super big deal to finally get MGS4 off the PlayStation 3. The collection launches on August 27th. The next reveal was for Darwin's Paradox, a game that sees you playing as a little octopus sneaking his way through a side-scrolling world and featuring some MGF references along the way, launching on April 27th. Then, for Castlevania's 40th anniversary, Konami revealed Castlevania Belmont's Curse, a new entry in the franchise that arrives this year. Set in 1499 Paris, the game introduces new ideas to the series while keeping the classic spirit alive, all supported by a beautiful art style. They kept the ball rolling with Silent Hill Townfall, the next game in the franchise from Annapurna Games and Screenburn. Players will explore St. Amelia this time around with horror-oriented combat, the CRTV replacing the radio, and story-focused puzzles, all in first person later this year. That still wasn't it though, as the final reveal from Konami was a big one with Rev Noir, which looks super dark, super fantasy, and legitimately looks really good. The game will be an ambitious JRPG, with the goal being a love letter to the genre. After all that, we got the unveiling of John Wick from Saber Interactive, which will see Keanu Reeves return to voice the titular character in the future. Gonna leave a link to one of my favorite YouTubers in Raycevick, who literally made a video wishing for a John Wick game a couple weeks back. Really funny timing. And following a new trailer for Bungie's Marathon announcing a server slam for February 26th through March 2nd, and one more look at Saros' gameplay, Marvel Token Fighters unveiled the Unbreakable X-Men joining the game, with Storm, Magic, Wolverine, and Dagger all joining the roster. Their designs all look absolutely amazing, and us X-Men fans really have been eating good recently. The game will be available on August 6th and see a Year 1 pass that brings 4 new characters and 1 new stage. Finally, Santa Monica Studios announced the God of War Trilogy remake, which will bring back TC Carson as Kratos and remake the games from the ground up, and God of War Sons of Sparta, a 2D action game available today, going into Kratos' origins as a kid in Sparta. Absolutely amazing state of play. And that wraps up this week of TGP. Super long show, but I hope we got every big headline from this week. We will be back next week with a new episode, so make sure to click that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. I've been your host, Brandon Alanis, and I'll see you all soon.